Welcome to the Non-Sequitur Show. Continual watching beyond this point may result in terminal face palming and a complete loss of wokeness. You have been warned.
All right, let's just get this party started here. First of all, we don't have a lot of time with us today. McToon has other engagements in about an hour. Reds is on his way. He's late as usual. So we're going to do this old school. We're going to do this podcast style. Basically, there's going to be no video. For one thing, Reds is still extremely freaking ugly. You guys do not want to see him. So just for safety precautions and to make sure that there's no casualties during this particular podcast, we're not going to be showing his face. So he will be joining us about 10 minutes. In the interim, though, I have put the link to join the conversation into the live chat. And if you want to call in, the number to call in is actually on Red's logo there. So you can dial in from a regular phone. If you're a flerfer, call in and try to explain to us why the Earth is flat. And if you're not, just come in and call to talk. Because I have the amazing, the wonderful, the second to almost nobody debunker of Flat Earth, McToon, with us today. Hey, man.
I was surprised. Yeah, I thought you were talking about somebody else.
I know this. Yeah, you know, it's confusing with all these like Flat Earth debunkers out there. But no, you're a legend, man. You're a legend.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be here. This is my second time on the Non-Sequitur Show. Back in the day was the place to be, and I was only on it once. So glad to be back.
Yeah, and I wasn't even on that episode. I do remember it. It was with God Engineer, and I think because you had just told me that was Kyle Kalinske was on that one too, because I didn't remember that. Yeah, Kyle how do you say his name again?
Zelinsky. It doesn't matter. It's the guy who got beat up by a girl. That's all you need.
Yeah, I think and he got kicked off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good times. Actually, we have some guests actually out there today. We've got James Freeman out there as well. He was just on just recently. We were talking about First Amendment auditing. So good to see you, James. Always a pleasure to have you come around. And we got Colorado Donkey Watch. And oh man, we're going to get a bunch of people out there. But I don't know if we have any flerfers. Now, I've already predicted, unfortunately, McToon, flerfers are not going to call in. Why? Because, they're timid creatures. They really are.
Yeah, they're brave when the keyboard is there to protect them.
Okay, so let me ask you, because I asked this to Reds last time, and I want to get your perspective on it. Not perspective, but perspective. I had asked Reds, what the state of Flat Earth was, because, okay, going back in the day when Flat Earth was actually prevalent on YouTube, and before YouTube finally decided to put the kibosh on it and say, look, we don't want people promoting this nonsense. I was questioning how many people actually believed it. Now, I did think that a few people did. There are some people that dumb, but I personally was under the impression that most flat earthers just do it to troll people, which I think is stupid. Don't get me wrong, but I have a hard time actually accepting that there are people more than just a small, 6 standard deviation over group that actually believe the Earth is flat. Now, in your experience, what do you think is the case? Do you think they actually believe it, or they're just BSing people?
I think most of them do. There's some pose, but for the most part, they are. I don't know. I stopped counting. I've had 300 some live streams, and most are debates. And I've only allowed on the ones that I thought were serious, and I could have been wrong, but as far as I know, except for Mallory, they're serious.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Now, I mean, here's my thing too. Look, I would rather talk to a flat earther that actually believes the earth is flat. Okay, I don't want to talk to somebody who's just trolling and just doing it to, push some buttons, because that's no interest to me. I'm there to try to change people's minds. And if somebody actually believes this, then I think with the right evidence, people may eventually come to terms with reality. I mean, I've seen it happen. I mean, Reds and I we did tag team somebody years and years ago, and that person no longer believes flat earth. Now, unfortunately, they still accept young earth creationism, so can't win them all. Right?
Little steps.
Do you want to know what convinced him?
What?
It was the circumpolar stars that around the north and southern hemisphere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they basically couldn't understand how that would work on a flat earth. So
and most of them have heard that very same thing and still think the earth is flat.
Yeah, but when you see it, I mean, again, if you're an honest person and you really just maybe don't understand science very well or physics,
the problem. Yeah. The honest person part.
Well, I mean, wait a minute though. I mean, look, if somebody really does believe the earth is flat, I'm not going to just throw out the dishonesty card, right? Not just yet.
Yeah.
But obviously, after a certain amount of time and they're just not trained to their mind, then possibly I'll call them dishonest, right? But I don't want to just like go there right off the bat. Now, the trolls that are just doing it for fun, those are all dishonest. So anyways, we have somebody who wanted to join in to ask a question, I believe.
Well, hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, Mr. Brandon, how are you today?
I'm good. How you doing, Steve?
Good. You're still not a flat earther, right?
Yeah, I've never actually said whether I am or not.
Would you like to disclose? Would you like to announce? Like to come out?
Okay. No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
McToon is an awesome guest to have. He's very patient. I've seen some of his debates and stuff, and what he puts up with. It's crazy the kind of stuff you put up with, man.
So you watch his stuff?
Yeah, I do. It's he'll every once in a while get pissed and stuff, but it takes a lot.
Well, let's ask him, McToon. What is some of the craziest crap you've seen?
The craziest? Oh, well, the concave earthers are the craziest.
Oh God, I remember that.
They all think they're Jesus.
Well, that came from Jesus. That's why, because remember Lord Stephen Christ?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all into that concave and what did he call it? Cellular.
Cellular. Yeah.
Didn't he die?
No, he made threats against the
president.
The president,
right?
Twice.
Yeah, I remember that. Did he get arrested?
And he's
nice.
As far as I can tell, he's in a nut house and he's not sane enough to stand trial.
Yeah, he was a nutter. Matter of fact, he made a video about me a long time ago saying that I should be in OSHA concentration camps. Or FEMA. That's what it was. FEMA concentration camps. Yeah. I was like, damn, what did I do to piss this dude off, man? I've never even talked to Lord Stephen Christ. He just didn't like my shit, I guess. I don't know. A couple things to get out of the way before we continue. We do have some super chats and stickers. Before we started, there were some stickers from David. Thank you, David, for those stickers. And then we have Bodie McBothface, who I've got a question for you, Bodie McBothface, but I'm going to read your super chat first. Super chat 666 from New Zealand. He says, hey, all, just watching 33 UC get wrecked in the last month's stream. Hilarious. Cool beans. And you had made a comment, Bodie McBothface, about something along SpaceX something or other in the comment section. You know what I'm talking about? What was it, McToon, that I said about SpaceX and the moon?
Stop the moon?
Stop the moon. Yeah. What does that mean, Bodie? But
I know exactly what that means.
Oh, okay. Well, I recognize that voice. Ooh, that sultry voice.
Calm down, people.
Yeah, okay. Maintain.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Reds Rhetoric! What up, buddy?
Sorry I'm late. By the way, guys, just tip from the top. Just because you drive a Prius, that does not mean you have the right to do 55 miles an hour in the hammer lane. I request, respectfully, that you move the fuck over so that the rest of us who want to do 95 and a 45 are, that we can do that. So please move over.
Driving etiquette 101. Yeah. And by the way, I don't know why I know it's MC Toon. I don't want to call him McToon. I know it's MC Toon, but whatever. Anyway, so what is this?
No. It's McToon. So long as he's in the same room with me.
Okay.
It's McToon.
So what is this about SpaceX stopping the moon? I'm confused.
Okay, so back in the day, and I think this was 2015, 2016. Journalism asked a really stupid question. I know, shocking, right? And,
wow. Okay. Oh, I'm flabbergasted. Wow.
I know. It's hard to believe. It caught me off guard. But anyway, so during the Orbcomm 2 launch, that was the first ever launch where SpaceX successfully landed their first stage booster. During the deployment sequence, the moon was actually in the background of the shot, where you saw the satellites being deployed. And the moon would be in one part of the shot, move and then stop, move and then stop, move and then stop. And Jeranism asked the question, how can NASA or SpaceX in this context stop the moon? And I'm like, you dumbass, it's not the moon that's moving, it's the craft.
Well, okay, but this proves my point. Before you got here, Rez, I'd asked MC2 the exact same damn thing that I've asked you about how many flerfers actually believe this crap. And Jizz, I'm sorry, it's not one of those people that actually believes this. I'm convinced he knows his BS. I'm sorry, change my mind. If you want to have a debate with me on that, I will happily try to have a debate on that, because I am convinced Jism knows his BS but doesn't care.
Given how badly he got wrecked the last time he appeared on NonSequitur Show by yours truly, he admitted in that debate that he didn't have a model that worked.
I remember that. Yep.
And he also admitted that it was more reasonable to believe that we go to space and that the Earth is round. He admitted that his position was not the reasonable one.
No, I remember that. I just remember why he did. I don't remember the reason behind. I remember he did admit fully there had no model.
Admission. But think about it, Steve. If he's making this admission, why does he keep pushing this bullshit as the truth?
Well, I was asking,
so we can make money off of other flat earthers.
Yes.
I agree.
There you go. He got it.
Yeah, Ash Scott, my mod said Jism is an absolute Poe. He was scamming people on Bitcoin forums long before he was scamming people on YouTube. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm aware of that as well. I mean, look, like I said, I think he's an absolute BS artist. I think he's scamming. But he has actually convinced people. Not like I said, most flerfers, I believe, are Poes, but I've actually convinced a certain amount of people, which to me is unethical. I mean, I think he's one of the most unethical people on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely, it's unethical. He's a lot like the Priuses that won't allow me to do 90 and a 45. You're not
gonna get over that, are you?
Annoying. They're annoying, and in reality, they're a danger to everyone around them.
Yeah, you're not gonna let that go, are you?
No, I'm not. If you drive a Prius, move over, please. Okay, I want to do 90 and a 45. You do not get to dictate to me what I am allowed to do in my own vehicle. Get out of the way. Let me do 90 to 45. Thank you.
So Bodie McFoseface 666. Jism even posted a vid of Lunar transit on the ISS a few years back, mysteriously no longer on his channel. Well, I mean, Reds,
I want a copy of that.
Where is that? Yeah, I'd like to see that too, because Reds, you have a video that you did on the Lunar transit of the ISS.
More than one.
Yeah,
more than one.
2 million views or something.
Yeah, the first one had over 3 million views.
Wow.
The one after that got 1.7 million, and then my ISS transit video that I did with Astronomy Live, we actually used the transit to measure the altitude, size, and speed of the International Space Station, showing that it's not a spy plane, it's not a balloon, and it is traveling at orbital velocity. It's at an altitude that no plane can reach, no balloon can reach, no drone, no whatever. It is a spacecraft. It's in space. We measured it to be over 400 kilometers up.
Wow, with those kind of numbers, you're almost in MC Toon's territory.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, he gets some views. Oh, come on, what do you?
Not like that. No, that.
Yeah, maybe James Freeman. He gets some numbers, but
I mean, he was close. We met up. He came to Cape Canaveral. See, what happened was that unfortunately, I guess the launch didn't happen, and it was kind of a bummer. We still got to spoon later that evening, but that wasn't the highlight that wasn't what the highlight was supposed to be. That just ended up being the highlight because the launch didn't happen. But
you want to elaborate on that, Toon, because you told me that story, but you left that part out.
Well,
yes.
That's for the after dark.
What's
still a video?
What happens in Florida stays in Florida.
No, so yeah, we.
So there's not a video.
Oh,
Damn.
so yeah, I went to the launch. Astronomy Live had mentioned he might be there. We're walking along and I see him, and then I heard the voice of Reds. Fortunately, I had my welding goggles handy.
I was going to say, I mean, what would have happened if you were to turn around and just got a full eye contact with him? Oh God.
Anyway, so yeah, it was good to meet Reds. The next day, we came back. Reds did not come back, and I met Apophis Rex or Astro Rex. He was there. Went out to dinner with him actually.
Did you spin with him too? Because Reds is a jealous type.
Save that.
Okay, all right. Because I say, man, just don't want to get Reds jealous like that.
Flirfs.
I call it
satire. Flirfs. Satire. Okay. Don't get satire.
You joke, but you're right. It's funny because Flerfers have to have things broken down to them, explained in minute details.
Yeah, absolutely. And even then, they don't get it. I'm still arguing with people about whether or not the distance to the moon is relevant in my parallax measurement of the ISS.
Oh God,
I'm like, no, the distance to the moon is not relevant. Irrelevant. Doesn't matter. In fact, Astronomy Live, when he made his video, didn't even use the moon for the measurements. He used the background stars.
Okay, so let me ask you. Yeah, I mean, those are fixed points for all practical purposes. So let me ask you: if next time you guys have a flat earther that you guys actually talk to, have you ever asked them straight up? Can you explain to us the concept of things like parallax?
Oh, we did even one better. We said that we would allow them to take remote control of our scope so they could record the data themselves, and then we would go through the math with them, using only what we had collected on that night. They would have their hands on the controls. They would be directly involved with the calculations. They would actually be the ones to find the final answer. So not only do they not have an explanation, they're not even willing to do the work. Even when given the red carpet treatment, they don't want to walk down the damn thing.
See, I couldn't do that.
If you go on Twitter, Steve, and look at Astronomy Live's tweet history, you will see him repeatedly making this offer to flat earthers, and nobody has taken him up on it.
So what would happen?
Nobody.
What would happen if a flat earther actually came in right now and started explaining to you what a subtended angle was? would that get you all excited or something?
I mean, it might give me a semi.
Or how about Euclidean geometry or something? Yeah. I don't want to scare them off, right? I mean, I'm using these words, but I mean, all these flirfers that may or may not call in. By the way, I already predicted they won't. The number to call in is on Red's logo there. If you look on his logo, the number should be there. I didn't double check, but I think I put it on there. And also the link to join is in the live chat out there.
Yeah, and it's pinned, so that's how I got in. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're in here. So you got the pin linked, right? You didn't call in from the actual number.
Yeah, the pin's linked. That's how I got in.
So what do you guys think? You think a flat earth? Because I mean, I know one of you guys is enough challenge for a flat earther. I mean, having you both on, that's just not fair.
Yeah,
it really isn't fair. It really isn't fair. You see, it's much like, okay, so a flat earther talking to MC or myself is basically just suicide.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're gonna take that as a death threat. That's satire, flirfers.
That's satire. Okay. That's satire, guys. Listen, I don't wish any harm on anyone, and especially if you drive a Prius doing 55 miles an hour in the hammer lane and you are refusing to get out of my way so I can do 90 in a 45.
You don't even know how long Reds holds grudges on things. You just don't know, people. You have no idea. He's gonna hunt that mofo down. I guarantee, and find out if he's a flat earther or not.
And Steve, for reference, you'd think this happened today. It was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, a flat earther comes here. It's like, see, MC is the good cop in this situation. It's like, oh, it's yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, let's discuss that. Let's explore that concept a bit. And meanwhile, I barge in with a Big Mac and go, you dumb fuck.
We might have a flat earther in the live chat. It's hard to tell again because I don't know these names. I've been out of that scene for a while. Quaalude Charlie, what a name! You recognize it?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's satire.
Okay, damn it. Oh, yeah, it seems like satire because
it's
like
the prolific use of the space comma, the perfect use of space comma.
Yeah, that's too well written to be a Flerfer. Sorry, Quaalude Charlie, you got to try harder, man.
I'm wanting like if I could have my choice of Flerf, I would go for Dave. I would go. Yeah, Dearth.
Yeah.
I go after Dave next because I already made journalism wet his bed. So
who's that? I just know allegedly Dave. Remember him because we had him on the show before.
Oh, the guy who drinks his own piss.
Yes.
God damn.
Yeah, that's allegedly Dave. You do remember?
Not the only one. Come on.
Oh God.
Be fair. There's a lot of them.
Why is that so common among flat earthers drinking their own piss? What
because
the hell's up with that?
Pseudoscience nonsense. They don't want you to know the truth. That's why they tell you not to do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so the guy who drinks his own piss. No, but that's not the Dave that I'm referring to. The Dave that I'm referring to likes to go into nursing homes, talk to 100-plus-year-old residents there, and tell them that the Earth is flat, and basically bullshit them for a documentary. And I'm giving that shit show charity by calling it a documentary and try to make money off of it. Yeah, that's the Dave I'm referring to.
Okay, I don't.
And if you think that part's satire, no, the dude actually went and spoke to someone who was over 100 years old, telling them that the Earth is flat, and I guess using suggestive speak to get them to agree with his bullshit, because again, he's over 100 years old, in front of a camera, and as soon as the senior said what David wanted her to say, you could see that grin, and I'm like, oh God, that's a shit-eating grin right there. That motherfucker.
Yeah, it's called Duper's Delight when they know that they've gotten over on someone, and they get some kind of weird kick out of it because they're just shitty people.
Yeah, that was a dick move, to put it lightly. That was a definite dick move.
And that one video is their one and only claim that flat Earth was taught then, and nothing else was taught back then. That's their
wait. Hey, back up. So they're trying to argue because some elderly person, let's say they're between the 80 and 90 or 100 years of age, something like that. They're trying to argue that when they were young and like in grade school, they were being taught flat Earth.
Yeah, I've seen people say that before the 1950s, that's what was taught in school. They're serious about that.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't around before then, but I can safely say in the 70s it wasn't.
Well, you're 20 years off. There you go. Proved.
Yeah, maybe
proved, undeniably.
Maybe in 3070 BC. Maybe. I'm not that old.
Yeah, so that's their only thing is a senile old woman who maybe she grew up in Zion, Illinois, where it actually was taught. But we don't know, right?
I'm sure even the Greeks knew the Earth was round, didn't they?
Yeah, it's pretty around for a while. I mean, Eratosthenes, kind of like demonstrated it, but I mean, they long since knew.
You got to be serious. You got to be clear on this. Eratosthenes only measured it. He didn't confirm it.
And Eratosthenes
Aristotle is one of the people that talked about it being spherical.
But he only did it in two places with the well. I mean, in order to really kind of prove it's three-dimensional spheroid, you need three sources, three data points.
He only did with one.
How did he do it? Oh yeah, but one data point at 2 different points.
There's one data point for Eratosthenes.
Right.
You need two to get an idea, and the more you have, like Slice Barcane did, the more you have, the more confirmation you have.
Right.
Yeah, Slice Barcane got volunteers from all over the globe. And the only model that resulted in zero contradictions was the globe Earth model. When you plot those same stick lines on a flat Earth, they render contradictory answers for the location, the altitude, and basically where the fuck the sun is. So in order for flat Earth to make sense, the sun would have to be in multiple different spots at the exact same time.
which is probably not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but they try to get around it by journalism, giving off this, everyone has their own personal dome that immediately gets rid of the contradictions. However the fuck that works.
I've heard something like that. Yeah, the personal dome theory. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, the personal dome. Basically, it doesn't matter what contradictions you bring up because the personal dome can automatically correct for those contradictions.
It's the get out of jail free card.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, granted, there's no preferred frame of reference in relativity, right? So, I mean, you literally are your own center of reference. So, yeah,
they're trying to say that the whole personal domes thing is powered by, well, let's just say magic, because that's what it would have to be in order for it to actually work worth a damn. But they literally they actually got that idea from a very unique source, and it was actually derived by a PhD scientist who actually went to space, who actually stayed on the space station, and that entire thing I just said was a lie. They pulled it out of their ass. It didn't. They just made it up. They made it up. Pure fucking bullshit. They saw a contradiction. They couldn't explain it away, so they came up with the personal dome thing because magic.
All right, I got some names for you guys because like my girl Sarah out there has been throwing out some names, and I'm kind of wondering myself what have happened to these people. So maybe between the two of you can kind of fill in everybody. Where are these we're gonna play Where Are the Flat Earthers Now? Okay, so Wotan. Whatever happened to Wotan?
Oh, Wotan.
I have no idea. I've never talked to him.
Do you know who he is? I mean,
yeah,
okay.
There were 2 times that Modern Day Debate was going to have me talk to him, and he couldn't make it for some reason.
Well, he wasn't out in school or something. I know, can tell you that, right? He wasn't reading a book or something.
No.
The last time I spoke to him was when he was trying to say that a vacuum cannot exist next to atmosphere, to basically suggest that there is a dome over our heads containing the atmosphere. And I said, no, it's not. And we have proof that it's not. And he goes, okay, you have an experiment to show that a vacuum can exist next to an atmosphere. I go, I have an observation. And he goes, an observation? How do you observe that? And I go, I will show you. And then Steve McRae brings up the video of my Atlas V rocket where the gases are illuminated by the sun. Yeah. And as it gets higher in altitude, the atmosphere gets thinner. And the gases start to expand more and more until eventually they expand so much that they're so thin you can't see the gases anymore from the blackness of space. It literally shows itself going into less and less and less atmospheric pressure as altitude is increased, eventually gets into a vacuum. And there you go. And but Brad, you want to know what he said after that?
What did he say after that?
You know what he said after that? He said, well, I still think you're full of shit.
Yeah, I remember watching that video. I remember playing it. But here's the thing.
I've seen that one.
You guys have to keep in mind that they don't even understand what pressure is, right? So you could show them all this stuff, but they don't know. They've never taken thermodynamics. They don't know the relationship between pressure, temperature, anything of that nature. So they have no idea what the hell they're even looking at, right? So I don't think they can even. I mean, to anybody that's ever taken physics or thermodynamics, you can clearly see what's going on, but I don't think they know how to process it.
No, they don't, and you can actually see evidence of that with Wonton because that conversation I just described with the rocket and the illumination of gases by the sun, that kind of thing, that actually occurred on the Non-Sequitur Show. Yeah, it happened on this channel. Yeah, so it's somewhere in the playlist. You just gotta go search for it. Good luck, because I ain't searching for it.
Another thing we should just ask if they've ever heard of Charles' law, Boyle's law, or, pressure, volume, temperature relationships, because I don't think that they do. Here's another name. How about Nathaniel Thompson?
Oh, Nathan.
Yeah, they go by Nathan. Yeah, Nathan Thompson.
Guy who went after kids.
Yeah, that guy. What happened to him?
He got one. Well, yeah, he stole from him and Whitsitt, his boyfriend, were going on a tour around the country, and then Nathan stole $800 and burned all his bridges.
Get out! Okay, this is news to me. I remember that he was outside the school and he was trying to convince kids that the Earth was flat, and they trespassed him off.
Yelling at
saw that video.
Yeah, I saw that one. I think he was actually arrested, wasn't he? For like disorderly
he was arrested for that. He was arrested for being a fucking weirdo in front of kids.
I wish I could have seen him get arrested. I don't. What's that?
I'm not sure
Someone needs to record that in 4K resolution with a Nikon P1000 just for an added bit of humor. It has to be the P1000.
Yes. All right, so McToon, what happened though? So he burned his friends?
Yeah, so he had set up to have somebody that owns a camper show up at somewhere that they were going to go on this tour. So it was those two, Whitsitt and Nathan, and then I don't know, the guy with the camper and a couple other people, and they started touring around. And they were in the southeast somewhere, and Nathan was being Nathan, getting drunk all the time, spending all the money on beer, asking for more money from followers, and they got in a big fight, and he left, bringing all the money that had been donated, $800.
What is those? Sorry.
So leaving the rest of them with no money. So Austin gets on and does a crying, sad live stream from his car, from somebody else's car that was along with, saying, "Oh, we need money to fix the motorhome because there's something wrong with it. I can't do anything. Oh, send money."
well, somebody was complaining they couldn't get on the show, and then I'm like, the link is out there, and they're like, oh, they're not worthy of my time. Well, I'm not worthy of their time. I'm sorry. I'm not worthy of their time. Well, I'm not the only one here. I mean, I got Toon, we got Rez, we got Brandon. I mean, I could shut the hell up. I don't even need to be here. If you want to come in and talk to them, I don't give a shit.
I could literally
I've done this before. Right
yeah. I'm not an educator, but I know.
Steve, I sent you Nathan Thompson's email address.
Why? Oh my God!
Do it! I fucking dare you.
Go for it.
When's the last? Oh God! He was on how long ago? Jesus Christ!
Come on, Steve.
How about this one? We'll go on the next one because obviously they're scared to come. You guys both scared them off. I mean, I don't know why I did this.
I'll go ahead. I'll pick the next one. I will pick the next one.
All right, pick the next one.
All right. So MC, you know that thing on your wall that you proudly display?
Yes.
Yeah. So whatever happened to Flat Out Hero?
So back in December, he pretended to leave Flat Earth. Nobody believed him.
Yep.
He admitted that he owed me and Wolfie both $100,000, and that all he needed was to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and then he would have the money to pay it back. And he wanted us to help him get 1 million subscribers.
No, wait. Was this because of Wolfie's bet? Because Wolfie had like that offer out there, didn't he, at one time?
No, he's the one that made the bet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Flat Out Hero said he'd pay $100,000 if somebody could show a flight chart with where you went three legs with a 90-degree turn at each corner.
Oh, I remember something like that. Yeah,
and you came back to where you started, which is easy. It's just a 10,000 kilometer flight, and on each leg, and you come back to where you started. So I did it on electronic. Wolfie did electronically. Ruhif did electronically. A bunch did. He said, "Oh, I meant paper charts."
Oh God.
So I did it on paper charts.
What would be the difference?
He didn't think he thought in his ignorance that paper flight charts would actually form an AE map.
Oh.
That's what he really thought. That's how dumb he actually
Wait, if Flat Out Here, is he still alive, or is that one of the ones that died?
No, he's still alive.
Okay.
And
is he the one that smokes weed out of a can?
He does that as much as possible, and probably other stuff too. So he was actually on my channel in December.
You could buy a pipe for $5. What the fuck, dude?
Well, so after he was dropping the act of pretending to not be a flat earther anymore, how did that come about?
Yeah, he didn't get lots of views, so he stopped making videos again.
Oh. Another super chat from Bodie McBoatface, 666 New Zealand. How about G-Man and the sun reflecting off his bald dome, proving a, quote, close sun? I kind of vaguely remember something like that. I mean, I haven't really talked to G-Man in a very, 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 very long time.
I haven't spoken to G-Man since fucking
2017, 18,
17. Yeah,
it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
He's still bald though, right?
I have no idea. I don't care.
Okay.
The amount of fucks that I have to give. I mean, it's like
there's none. Yeah.
Yeah, none.
It's like there's not land barren enough that can adequately describe the level of fuck I do not give.
Yeah, I have no fuck. I have no fucks to give, and only a few give a damns left. I'm saving them for a special occasion. So, here's another name. Oh man, this is the blast from the past. How about this one? Remember this one? Southern Israelite.
Oh God!
Oh come on, that's one of your favorite. Is he? Wait, he's dead too?
He took all of his toys and left, right?
I don't know.
He took all of his toys and left. He had a hissy fit, but it also wasn't just flat Earth that got him. It was because there was a few people that actually knew history, because he was trying to argue that the South wasn't racist during the Civil War.
It was racist.
Wow,
the South was not only racist during the Civil War, most of it still is, or many parts is.
He tried to argue that the Civil War wasn't about the preservation of slavery, and everyone rightfully called bullshit.
Yeah, of course it was.
But he was trying so hard to push this narrative that the Civil War wasn't about slavery. The Civil War wasn't. I mean, then just like John Oliver said, he should go back in time and tell the fucking South that.
Did he use the words the war of northern aggression?
I'm pretty sure that was in there somewhere. I imagine it would be his forte. But he had a name for everyone that knew history. Lincolnites.
Well, I mean, people could argue there's economic factors, but the economic factors was slavery was cheap labor back then, and Carton was one of the
exactly.
big,
Shit. And so
I mean, Cotton was one of the biggest businesses back there.
And not only that, not only did he get his ass kicked with the whole flat Earth stuff, but then he also got his ass kicked by people that actually know American history. And at that point, he just said "fuck it" and took all his toys and left.
All right.
There is one Flerfer around that still references him.
Wotan.
Wow. No. There's one. I think there's only one Flerf who calls Southern Israelite his Papa Flerf, and that's Lemon Bird.
Oh, Lemon Bird. Oh my God, dude! I had dealt with Lemon Bird on Discord. That dude is flat, freaking crazy.
He's in a ball
on Discord.
Yeah, he's just weird, dude. Just way not on his right mind.
I've come across him in a boat a couple times, and he's out there.
That reminds me, I need to get. There's a Flerf wiki. There's an actual Wikipedia page dedicated to Flerfs.
Nice.
It's Google Flerf wiki. I put the link in the
Google
chat
Flerf wiki. Oh my God!
Wow.
Oh, we're gonna have to check that. That'll be another episode. We're gonna have to come back to that one. We're gonna have to check that out. If there's gonna be a Google Flerf wiki.
So there's actually and every Flerf in there has a listing for their Papa Flerf. And so for example, Austin Whitsitt's Papa Flerf is Nathan Thompson.
So wait, is it just the Flerfers, or do you get like debunkers like you guys in there too?
Yeah, there's others in there. So yeah,
are you in there? Is Reds in there?
I imagine.
Really, Reds is. I mean, he's like obviously. I think no offense to Toon, but Reds is my hero. So I put him as number one. He's the the ultimate debunker of all time.
He's one of my man crushes.
Yeah, he's everybody's man crush.
Yeah, it's even got a picture of the guy from Raiders of the Lost Ark's face melting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that would be Red's thing.
That would do it. Yeah, that would work. That would work. 100%. In fact, a true story. When MC put on the welding goggles, they partially melted.
Yeah.
So Sarah says she's super drunk, which means she needs to get in here because that's drunk Sarah is fun. Sarah.
We're off to a great start.
Somebody had asked when Aaron Ra's coming back to NonSec. Anytime Aaron Ra's too, he's never been banned from this channel. He could. Whatever. As long as we don't talk philosophy, because he'll cry and he gets upset.
And the whole rocks are atheist thing.
Yeah, it's not pretty. It's definitely not pretty. Yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Steve. I'm gonna ask another one. So, MC, Russian vids.
Oh my God! Russian vids. Holy shit!
He's still around.
Oh, yeah, God. I know he's still around. My question is why though? How does this motherfucker still exist?
He has one shtick. That's it. It's I don't know how anybody can think that it's interesting.
The whole numerology thing.
Yeah, 33 UC is still around.
Oh my God!
Now, true story, guys. I used numerology to prove to Russian Vids that he was having a sexual relationship with O.J. Simpson.
Fact, ontological fact.
Yeah, fact. It was by numerology. Now, and some people say
who's on top.
It was that he was the bottom bitch. He was the bottom bitch. Now,
we don't judge though. We don't judge. So whatever.
Now we don't judge, but some people have accused me of using numerology, to prove that, he was having a sexual relationship with O.J. Simpson, to simply prove that numerology can be used to demonstrate any bullshit you want, and that it's not valid. Now, I just want to say that's slander, and I do not appreciate it. And also, besides that, you are absolutely right. Yes, I did use numerology to show that you can use that to prove any bullshit you want, and that is why I used it to say that Russian Vids was having a sexual relationship with O.J. Simpson, and he was not very happy about that.
Russian Vids had actually tried, because I think Russian Vids, actually, I'm convinced he's a Poe. He tried to run the script that I don't actually have a daughter, but I hired a transsexual actress or actor. I don't want to be other actor,
he's very
to be my daughter. Yeah, I guess he's very
transphobic. Yeah,
really
he's very
weird.
Transphobic, very homophobic. He's very. He just like I have a feeling that he's like. If you saw, like, if he were to see like a transgender pride flag or a gay pride flag or whatever just hanging out, he would do whatever he can to climb to the top and try to violate that flag in some way.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I wouldn't care if my daughter was trans. Wouldn't bother me the least. But to say that she's not actually my daughter and that I hired her an actress, that's what got me. I wouldn't give a shit.
This is a guy that got 20%. This is a guy that scored 20% on the CGI or real test. Oh, and this motherfucker tried to claim that he was a CGI expert.
I remember he didn't. He couldn't pick. He couldn't pick CGI or not.
He got 20%.
Yeah,
20%. And it's like, dude. Fuck, even Blind Chance would have done a better job than this shit.
All right, so we do have somebody who came in to ask a question, I believe, and the link to join is pinned at the very top, and also call in. If you look at the Reds Rhetoric's logo there's a number there with the pin number. So you can call in on a phone, or you can use the link that's pinned to the very top of the live chat. Okay, Hans Gruber from Die Hard. Hi, Hans. Love your acting. That was brilliant. And when you fell off that building, dude, best scene ever.
Yep.
All right, so this is the wrong email account. Hey Toon, it's Jeff Kane. We're acquaintances on Facebook.
Okay.
I am not a flat earther.
Damn it, that's okay. We'll let you slide. Can we convince you the Earth is flat? Can we try?
So I just joined for the hell of it while I'm getting drunk.
Well, that's fine. Oh, no problem. Well, people are allowed to drink. We're all drinkers. I don't really drink that much anymore.
I've got my Toonshine going.
I love your Toonshine. I watch it every Tuesday.
Oh, Toon is drinking some. You guys can't see it, but Toon is actually on camera, and he actually has a mason jar that looks like it's filled with a very clear liquid that I'm probably guessing is actually moonshine. Is it? Okay.
No,
yes, it is.
It's mostly water.
It's mostly water. Yeah, it's it looks like water, tastes like vodka.
But yeah, when I saw Red's Tampa Bay stuff, I was like, "Oh shit, somebody from Tampa Bay."
So do you follow any of these people? What do you want me to call you? Because that's obviously you became
Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah,
okay, Jeff.
Basically, Toon, Fight, Reds, Skeptic.
What about the flat earthers? Because again, we're trying to figure out what happened to some of them. I know if of them did pass away. I mean, and I'm not going to disrespect the dead, but unfortunately, a few of them did try to like I know one tried alternative medicines, didn't work very well for his favor, obviously, and that was and Super Rats.
Most recently passed. But he was the one driving around and like spitting out of his window on video. His last YouTube video was basically spitting at people.
Flat Earth Fokker.
Flat Earth Fokker. Yeah, I know he passed too.
Terrible. Like those kind of people are. I don't know. It's not mentally well. Say it nicely.
Well, like Super Rats though. Like I said, it's unfortunate he did have cancer. He decided to go with alternative medicine, like drinking bleach.
That
Not recommended, people. I'm not. Look, I'm not a doctor.
Bleach.
I'm not giving any medical advice. I am not a physician or in any way qualified to give medical advice. But I'm thinking drinking bleach is bad.
I don't do it.
think telling people not to drink bleach is medical advice.
Yeah, you're pretty safe.
Pretty safe. Yeah, at least not straight. I mean, obviously, if you mix it, because that's how we actually on board ship in the Navy, we actually put bleach into water. It's calcium calcium hypochlorite, which is really just diluted down though, right? So even if you take a few like drops of bleach in like a gallon of water, that's all you need, right? To kill everything off.
That's a big difference between like what they're doing and a drop or two in a gallon.
Right. Yeah. It's literally you take an eyedropper. It's like I think it's like eight drops a gallon, 4 drops. It's not that much, right? You don't drink a gallon of
Hello, guys. Am I muted yet?
No, you're not.
Oh, you're muted.
No.
Who is this?
Hey, welcome. Hey, your link is not working, so I can't connect my webcam. I had to call in on my cell phone.
Brandon got in by the link.
The link works.
I got in with the link.
Yeah. But anyways,
two other people managed to make it work.
That's okay. So who are we speaking with?
Penny Glenn.
Penny Glenn.
I'm a big fan of Reds Rhetoric.
Really? People like that shit?
Yeah. Yeah, I love laughing every time he talks because he's so ridiculous.
He is funny. He's a funny guy, actually. I know him personally. He's been
he's
pretty
absurd.
comedic.
Like he explains that we see too far because of refraction, and I just don't understand how he can see oil derricks and sailboats miles and miles away.
I believe you. I believe you don't understand.
You just don't know what refraction is.
Well, I mean,
it's so funny. It's so funny. I mean, if you don't want to, I prefer you not cursing and calling me names. But you can call me funny also.
But you go by Penny, right?
Penny Glenn.
And you're from Texas, Penny?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're already going to question the educational things in Texas right now. There's a lot of shit going on there. But what question do you have for Reds specifically?
Years and clear. No, I'm just saying, I think that is this a flat earth topic, or are you guys just circle and jerking like you normally do?
Why are they mutually exclusive? It could be all the above. All right, well, go back to flat Earth.
Those?
Yeah. All right, we got flat Earth. Go ahead. What question do you have for Reds?
Yeah. Why do we see too far? Why do we not see an apparent curve if we can see miles and miles way too far beyond the curvature?
Planet is big.
So.
And when you say refraction, I don't think refraction is a good excuse.
Well, you don't think isn't really an answer, is it?
The LX.
We got some jackals and hyenas.
Shots fired.
All right, let's go.
Man.
Anyway, I don't think
I haven't said anything. Everyone else is feeling my
All right, let Reds.
I don't know.
All right.
I wish I could talk on camera, but your link didn't work. Every time I clicked it, it sent me to Google Play Store and to download the Meet.
I have no idea. Other people got it.
Well, if you don't have it downloaded,
Are you using an Apple product?
It's actually an Android.
You said the Play Store, yeah.
All right, so Reds.
And then I didn't want to start on my Windows. I don't know Windows.
All right, so
I think Windows.
Reds.
Anyway, let's just stick on. Okay, how do we see too far? For the first question, I have two questions. How come we see too far, and there's no curvature measurable? That's the first question. How come we see oil derricks and sailboats and cruise ships like 20 miles out when they should be behind?
You see the bottom of them?
I'm shutting up for you.
The bottom of them? No. No.
Why?
Perspective.
What is
the vanishing point? There's a vanishing point.
What?
There's a vanishing point.
It never gets old to hear.
I'm going to ask everyone. I'm going to ask everyone to let me ask this question.
Go ahead.
Too many people talking. I can't hear anything. I hear some jackals and laughing. That's all I hear.
Can I ask you to define for us perspective, please?
A perspective plane?
You're using the word in the definition.
Yeah. Okay. The only way I haven't read a definition. I'm just normally educated high school. No, let me finish. I don't know the scientific definition, but for what I believe perspective is things get far smaller and smaller away the farther it gets. So from your standpoint, the farther things are, the smaller it gets. So from your perspective, things might get bigger. Like if you put your thumb up next to your eyeball, it gets bigger compared to other things behind it. So it's your observational standpoint. I don't know big words like you got.
I don't know big words. We believe that. We expect that. That's okay. But go ahead, Reds.
We got it. Okay, so you're saying that as objects are close to you, they look a certain size in your field of view, and as they get bigger compared, like the closer you are, they get bigger. The farther away, they get smaller, and that's perspective. And the farthest away they can get is the vanishing point, which is the perspective curvature. Which, well, I don't even want to say curvature. It's the vanishing point. It's the vanishing. On that vanishing point. Let's just explore that a bit. As objects are getting further away from you, are they shrinking in size in totality? Yes or no?
I don't know what you mean by totality. Like there's, I don't know.
Okay, let me explain it. Let me explain it a different way. Let's say you had a car that was driving away from you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Would the bumper shrink as the same rate as the taillights and the hood and the back window and the wing?
Well, the tail light, light is a different thing. Like if the tail light is off.
No, I'm talking about just angular size, just angular size.
Like the license plate bumper, the back windshield. But when you say light, because light refracts back in a different proportion.
I meant taillights as in they're not actually glowing in this example. Okay?
An off tail.
Yeah, and off taillight. So they would all. Yeah, they would basically.
You could roll a marble. I think you guys play with marbles. So you could roll a marble down the street, and it'll get smaller in comparison to your what do they call that big marble that you guys play with? The
boulder.
Slammer?
No, they're called boulders.
I don't know.
When I played marbles, they were called boulders back in my day.
Okay, so just getting back.
I was thinking of pause.
Wow.
Everything would shrink uniformly, correct?
Yeah. Well, comparison. Yeah. Yep. Sure.
Okay, if everything shrinks uniformly, then what we should see, if it continues to get further away, is it shrinking to a point. At what point does the law of perspective change to it arbitrarily disappears bottom up?
It's comparison.
Comparison to what?
Well, okay. That's okay. So you're thinking of, you got to look at like the little waves and how much atmosphere directly at the bottom, close to the atmosphere gets in the way.
That just sounds like you're making shit up. It just sounds like you're just making shit up.
Wait a minute, guys. If I'm looking at the car's bumper through 2 miles of atmosphere, am I not also looking at the car's roof through 2 miles of atmosphere?
Everything gets smaller. It gets to a vanishing point. So yes.
Yeah, but
I thought we were talking about on the ocean.
Disappear.
I thought you were going to swing it through the ocean.
We're looking through the same amount of atmosphere.
Angular
okay, we're going to swing it back to the ocean, so I might have jumped ahead. So I'll stick on your example. And yes, everything gets smaller and smaller away.
That's called angular resolution.
Yeah, okay. Are you going to go swing it back to the ocean? Well, I might have jumped ahead. So continue with your what? So yes, the answer, the tailgate and the license plate and everything gets smaller in comparison to a vanishing point.
So they all get smaller uniformly. They shrink at the same rate. It's in totality type of deal, which means that they should if we have enough angular resolution to make out the taillights, then we should have enough angular resolution to make out the bumper.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so if I have enough angular resolution to make out the top of skyscrapers, I should have enough angular resolution to make out the bottom of the skyscrapers. Same shit.
Okay, yeah, so shouldn't it be a trapezoid getting farther away? So if you measure something, shouldn't it be a trapezoid?
What's a trapezoid again?
Where the bottom's bigger than the top of the rectangle.
That's a trapezoid.
Like it looks like it's pointing away from you. Like if Imagine you on your globe model. You have a World Trade Center. Imagine you pull the World Trade Center away from you. Wouldn't the bottom be?
You're wondering why? Hang on, let me see if I can rephrase the question. You're wondering why we don't see. You're wondering why we don't see buildings tilting away. Is that your question?
No. Well, I thought that's what you're getting at.
No, I'm not getting at that at all. But if you must know, you have to go over 70, or actually pretty much exactly 70 miles to even see 1 degree of tilt.
So it's not going to be noticeable at that.
It's not going to be noticeable over 24 miles.
By the way, I have a quick question. I have a quick question for you. First, by the way, thank you. One sec. Thank you, Boatface. He's now an initiate. If you want to become a member of the channel, you get a cool green name. So I appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, that's how you get. It's one way to do it. Second of all, you have. People are saying your voice is familiar, and it kind of is to me a little bit too. Are you Virtual Maya?
Nope.
You're not Joe?
No.
You sure?
I'm either Claptrap, Not Cute, or Penguin.
Okay.
So the three aliases.
I don't know. It sounds familiar to me too. But all right, well, let's go with that. That's fine. But continue on. Then we got some other people here that want to ask some questions.
There's a lot of retards out there. You say we all sound alike. So a duck sounds like a duck. So
Did anyone make that out?
I have no idea. Yeah, I'm just kind of going with the flow at this point.
I'd rather say idiot than retard.
Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and just say this. Okay, the law perspective, just for clarity, is a mathematical equation. I won't repeat it. If you want me to, I will, but only if you pay me.
Yeah, is it 8 inches per mile squared, or is that just ridiculous?
No, it's trigonometry.
No.
I understand it's a complicated subject, but it is possible to learn it. Now, with
so
this,
when they debunked it, even your, I don't know if he's your friend, but Professor Dave debunked it, and after 100 miles, it's like 6 inches off. So you really think that 6 inches after 100 miles is really appropriate to say it's an improper fraction?
Hey, 6 inches. Let me tell you, 6 inches. 6 inches is important. Okay, let me tell you.
That makes a lot of difference.
Steve and Brandon, shut the fuck up.
My goddamn show. Okay.
So,
all right, all yours.
All yours. The law perspective, all the law perspective states is that as an object gets further away from you, it will shrink uniformly in totality.
Yeah, that's the vanishing point. That's what I consider the vanishing. I took art, okay? I took a lot of art classes, and I know what a vanishing point is.
Then you would know that the law perspective does not make objects arbitrarily disappear bottom up and then eventually out of sight.
I don't know what arbitrarily means. I didn't take English.
Something has to block your view with the bottom, if not the top.
Well, I know. Okay. So what you're saying, it disappears bottom up, but you don't understand. Like a blade of grass or a small ripple in an ocean could magnify to where it covers up.
That would have to be a pretty big ass ripple.
It's gonna magnify.
Okay, put your thumb in front of your eyeball, and it can cover up just about anything.
Wait. Talking about a ripple in the ocean that would drown literally all of Tampa.
Wait, Penny.
Close to your eyeball.
I'm listening. Well, you guys, okay, you're calling me stupid, but you don't understand what you're talking about.
I called you dumb.
If I look at a dog 5 feet away from me, that dog can cover up a car a mile away from me.
Yeah, that's angular resolution.
So a ripple is.
I'm saying, if you look on a flat fucking surface, you guys want to start calling names and shit. That's kind of rude. But if you look at a ripple that's an inch high or a blade of grass, it's going to cover up stuff miles away from you. Do you not understand what I'm saying? It's a vanishing point. I know what I'm talking about.
Well, just a small.
On a vanishing point, you put a point at eye level, and the stuff from the bottom raises upwards, okay?
As far as the law, I'm sorry, but as far as calling names, you were the one that
you guys don't know what a vanishing point is.
Excuse me.
The vanishing point is literally the point where the available resolution of your eye is insufficient to make out the object in question. I know what the vanishing point is, but the vanishing point does not answer the question of why stuff disappears bottom up and eventually out of sight when we still have enough angular resolution to make out parts of the object itself.
All right, hang on, Penny. Okay, so first of all, hang on. I just said hang on.
Okay, I know. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
It's cool. The internet is not a safe place. We all recognize that. So we also have some other people that actually want to weigh in. First, I know Siggy's got to go here. Siggy is in here from, I think, where's he from? Where'd you hear from, Siggy?
Well, that was my first question.
Hang
Can I ask
on,
the second question
Benny,
real quick?
slow down your roll, man. I was talking to you, Siggy.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm from Argentina.
Argentina, that's right. So,
I thought you said Penny.
no, Siggy. Can you see Siggy in here?
My phone.
Oh, you're on the phone.
He's on a phone call, dude.
Okay. My apologies. I'll accept the one for that. So, Siggy, what'd you have to add, by the way? And nice of you to join us, by the way, Siggy.
Nothing at all. Just to say I'm a huge fan, and thank you guys for all the things you do.
Thank you. We appreciate
Can
it.
I interject?
Yes, Stanley, I'm going to get you next. Don't worry. I've done this before, not my first rodeo. But Siggy has to go because he's in a completely time zone. Why? Because flat Earth is not flat. Well, so it would be kind of cool.
Because flat Earth is not a thing.
It's provably flat.
Okay.
No, it's not.
All right. So thank you, Siggy. We do appreciate it. Stanley, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I came on. I wanted to know because I'm a Christian, and I believe I can demonstrate Jesus is sovereign over all nations. And,
Can we do that for another time? Look into the Son of God is the Son of God on YouTube.
Because of the 7 day
hang
week.
on, people. Hang on. Look,
It's all.
I'm interested in that, but listen, Stanley, can I kind of put you on like hold for like a minute and just wrap this up?
Talking about flat Earth.
Well, I mean, look,
I don't even believe in the firmament.
I don't believe either things, but at least one is scientifically verifiable to be false. But go ahead, Penny.
But what, the flat Earth is scientifically verifiable?
Yeah, considerably.
It's not.
False.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
And
I think
I'm here to ask two questions.
all right. Well, ask one to Toon because Toon gets bored easily.
What was the second question? What was the
No,
second question?
no. Like there's a.
So if you want to ask,
They're not going to.
Yeah, he's got to go
hanging.
soon. Hey, Penny, ask Toon a question because I know he's on a limited time schedule. We'll continue on without him, unfortunately, but he was only allocated us for. We had to like beg for him for an hour. And he's like, "Fine, Steve, just stop begging. Get up from your knees." So ask Toon.
Read the biology book. Just read the book.
Toon is not a biologist. Don't ask biology shit. Okay, ask him about spacey stuff.
Just look. There's no curvature was my one. Like, how can we see too far? And you guys said we see stuff disappearing bottom up. And my explanation was if you put a blade of glass in front of you, you could disappear a dog 5 miles away. So, I mean, that's not really.
Yeah, but there's no blade of grass right in front of your eye. That's not what's applies.
Yeah, you'd have to be laying down.
It's the very distant horizon that's covering it bottom up.
The more it gets closer, the more it'll cover it up.
Penny, you gotta let him answer. Penny, slow your roll, man. You gotta let Toon answer. Penny, slow your roll.
I guess I think I might be on a second delay.
Oh, it could be. All right, it happens. And by the way, if you're on a phone, it could be a delay. So
let me try something. Steve, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. MC, go for let's say 20 seconds. Go.
The blade of grass needs to be very close to your face to obstruct something. When it's far away, it won't be obstructing. When the horizon is far away, it's the horizon that's blocking it. So it's many miles from your face. So it's not doing the same thing as that blade of grass. Something is actually getting in the way.
Because you're seeing something 20 miles away. You're saying
I gotta go.
20 miles
I object.
away.
I object. All right, thank you, buddy.
Steve, thanks a lot.
Toon,
Sorry,
you're amazing. No, thank you, buddy. I really do. We'll get you back.
Oil derrick 20 miles away.
Oh my God!
This guy has no ability to have any social graces.
And then a ripple is so close to you.
All right.
All right, but we'll be in touch.
You could do a test.
All right. So, Penny, did you get?
Sorry, Adam. I didn't mean to be rude and take up your time.
Well, he got 20 seconds. I think he got through like maybe 12 of them before you interrupted.
Not
him.
even.
I'm being generous here. I'm being generous. It's probably like 8. I don't know. I wasn't really paying much attention.
The same thing, but you don't understand the vanishing point.
I already explained the vanishing point. Okay,
take an art class.
All right, I'll explain this one more time. The vanishing point is simply the point where the available resolution of your eye is insufficient to make out the object as a whole. If I can still see parts of the object, then that means it hasn't hit the vanishing point yet. Something else is getting in the way. And I'm going to argue that it's the curvature of the Earth because we see it disappearing bottom up and then eventually out of sight, even though the available resolution is sufficient enough to make out parts of the object.
And we can actually do it reverse on mountains and stuff, seeing them revealed top down.
They're disappearing top down. Anyway, like for example, my Tampa Bay blink test shows that we have enough resolution to make out the towers. So we can make out the skyscrapers, yet the bottom is missing. And then when I blink between a picture that was taken closer and my zoomed in picture, which I took with the P1000, the flat Earth camera of choice, we see that the available resolution was the same between both shots. The only thing different was that one was close and one was far away.
Well, yeah, if I take a picture of my thumb next to my dog and I blink back 100 meters, my dog might be covered up by my thumb.
Yeah, but you're not understanding what I'm saying here is that the available resolution was the same in both images.
Okay. All right. So you're saying refraction is the cause of all this?
No,
so
I did not say refraction at all. On the day that I did my observation, there was almost no refraction. It was a very clear day. And on this very clear day, the only way those towers were being obscured is by the curvature of the Earth, because the thing that was dividing the top of the towers from the bottom was literally water.
Yes.
Did you do the Chicago for Michigan test? Or you haven't seen the newspaper, like what you're seeing here is a mirage.
No. What I did was with Tampa Bay, but I guess the concept is similar.
So real quick, we got a super chat. We got a super chat. Philo1408 for $5 says your art degree doesn't qualify you to talk about the shape of the Earth. What do you have to respond to that?
Vanishing point. You guys don't know about vanishing point and perspective.
Yeah, clearly, we don't understand about these topics. Clearly, it is art. Yeah,
I defined it literally twice. I can do it a third time.
But they don't. Are you sure you're not Joe? Because you kind of sound like Joe now.
Joe?
Yes. Joe is virtual Maya. He's been on the show before. I know. But no offense, but Flerfers lie, okay? Come on. I mean, listen.
That was either the opening to a really piss poor Yo Mama joke, or I'm getting tired. So anyway, can we get to the second question? Because I don't think we're going to come to a consensus.
Yeah, then I want to get to Stanley here, because that might be more interesting.
Can I interject?
Yes,
sure, Stanley.
Yeah, go ahead. Hang on, Penny. Go ahead.
Let's see what Stanley's got to say.
Yeah, go for it, Stanley.
So I'm a Christian, and me and Floyd FP wanted to host a debate on my infallible 7-day cycle argument, which proves Jesus is Lord. But we're going to be doing it on Jefferson Spashkosk channel.
Okay.
I'm willing. I was wondering, would you be willing to host a debate on Christianity?
First of all, I love Floyd FP.
I'll call in and say that your religion is pseudoscience.
Okay.
No problem. Thank you. Can I speak to the other guys?
Yeah. Can you hang on there, Penny?
Can I speak to the other guys?
Yeah, thank you. So Stanley, first of all, Floyd FP is you're going to have your hands full, because I can tell you right now, I've known Floyd for a very, very long time, and he is one of the most knowledgeable people on these topics I've ever ran across. So good luck with that.
Does it have anything to do with
I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in luck, but he saw my video. He's going to be prepared.
But you're not.
Excuse me. Can I speak, buddy? Give me a second. He's gonna come prepared, but it's gonna be to no avail, because my argument is infallible. So
okay.
I don't know if you're familiar. With my 7-day cycle argument. It's based on two infallible propositions. Number one, the God of the Hebrews is the author of the 7-day cycle. And proposition number two, he predicted the universal application of the 7-day cycle as a demonstration of his power over all nations. So we can see from 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ said he's the Lord of the Sabbath. Wherever there's a 7-day cycle, there's the sphere of his influence. Therefore, only one nation kept the 7-day cycle 2,000 years ago, and we saw the domino effect all the way to the...
It sounds like you're going to be doing...
I'm almost done.
Hey, don't cut him off.
I'm sorry.
Don't cut him off.
Sorry. Oh, my God.
Hang on. Stanley, does this have anything to do with Flat Earth?
Right? Oh, is this a channel only for Flat Earth?
Well, no, but that's the show. It's on Flat Earth today.
That's the show. If this has absolutely nothing to do with Flat Earth, I'm gonna kindly ask that you leave.
Oh, no problem.
I mean, hang on. Hang on. I asked him to come in so he can make a quick thing to me, because he wants to talk about this on a different show, which is fine, Stanley. I have no problem, but you don't need to go through the whole spiel now, because I'm not that interested at this particular time. But yes, I'm happy to sometime out. We do. Will you shut up for a second? Jesus. So Stanley, we do talk about those topics. I have Christians on all the time. I have atheists on all the time. We are a diverse channel that has multiple different topics. It is basically opinions are sacred as long as they're informed. So if they're informed, we'll talk about them. Right now, it's basically we're making fun of flat earthers, but that's for the most part. But yeah, sure, get a hold of me. My email is in the about, and just email me, and we'll get something going. But yeah, if I can get you
perfect.
If I get you and Floyd on too, I'm cool with that. I like
I would suggest because I like you and I don't want to have to because everybody that comes against me gets exposed. So I went against. I've debated multiple atheists and they all got destroyed.
Oh, awesome.
So it's not going to be any different.
Well, I'm not an atheist.
Can you do me a favor though, Stanley, and jack your dick on a different show that isn't about that? Please.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I just want I'm going to be debating Floyd FP next week on Jefferson.
I can't help but notice that you're still here.
I'm leaving, buddy. Is this your channel?
Yeah.
Right now, yes, it is.
Okay, no problem. Right, so next week next Friday on Floyd on Jefferson Spatchcock channel. Check it out.
We don't mind promotions. That's cool.
Got it. Jefferson Spatchcock. You got it.
All right.
I'm really glad Stanley chimed in because his pseudoscience with religion is the same provability of your pseudoscience with the globe model.
Well, I just don't want to get exposed. I don't like being exposed.
Let's just all universally agree that it is a dick move to try and schedule another show when we're currently having this one. So moving on.
Formalities.
My second question. Can we get to my second question?
Yes,
go for it. Sure.
It's not really a proof of the globe. Like my biggest proof of the globe is like there's no curvature, and you guys didn't really rebut it. So my second thing is the International Space Station have zero gravity?
No.
It has gravity. It's microgravity.
It experiences about 87%, if I remember correctly, the gravity that we experience here on Earth.
So would that keep water in a cup?
No, surface tension does.
Okay, so wouldn't the top of that surface tension like try to bulge up and not be flat?
No, what you're referring to is footage from the Chinese space station, the CSS, or the Tiangong 1, whatever the fuck they're calling it. Yeah. And what these Chinese astronauts did was they had water in a cup, and the water was just sitting there. The cup has these things called walls, and surface tension can stick to said walls. Therefore, it will stay in the cup.
What about your astronaut Don Pettit saying a cup wouldn't work in 0G because everything would just spill out?
When you're trying to drink out of it, a cup.
Oh, okay. All right. So like a ball would come. So like the surface tension would bulge up to you like a kind of like a marble.
Bag. They have a bag with a valve on it, and that bag is a or.
No, I'm not saying how do they drink. I'm saying like with a cup, an open. If the Chinese people try to drink it out of that mason jar, they couldn't.
No, because the surface tension would prevent them from drinking. Well, I guess they could if they tried hard enough, but it would be very awkward. It would be very awkward. It would not be the ideal way to drink fluids in space. I'll tell you that.
Super entertaining.
Okay,
it would be super entertaining. It would be hilarious, but
how do you feel about all these bloopers about the International Space Station?
Sorry,
you don't think that?
What was that?
Bloopers?
How do you feel about these bloopers of the International Space Station? We're like both.
Okay. Well, it's not like they're directly connected to us with Ethernet. Okay, they're 200 miles up, and it's all wireless communications. Blips are going to.
How do you feel about Buzz Lightyear, or Buzz Aldrin? Sorry, a different homosexual. How do you feel about Buzz Aldrin saying that what Conan O'Brien saw on TV wasn't real? It was actually animation, claymation, and they had to
back up. Which instance are you talking of? Because I don't think I've heard of this.
Just type in Conan O'Brien interviews Buzz Aldrin, and Conan O'Brien will be like, "Oh, I remember when I was young, I saw you land on the moon, and I was so impressed." And then Buzz Aldrin, he's like, "No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You saw claymation. There was no cameras up there. What you saw, everything you saw when Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon was fiction. It was claymation representing what was really happening up there.
Okay, well, I understand your point. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, send me a source because I don't believe that actually happened.
Just type it in.
No, I think it has. I think he was joking with Conan. Probably, I think.
I would love to.
No. Buzz Aldrin never jokes. He'll punch you in the face if you fucking say otherwise.
That is, yeah, but guess.
Well, okay, hang on.
Here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
He was so willing to reveal the fact that the moon landing was claymation.
No. He wasn't saying it was fake. He was saying what we saw was fake.
Yeah, what we saw.
Really
same difference, dude.
So you're contradicting yourself here.
How are you guys think different?
Hang on. So Buzz Aldrin.
I know what it was.
Hang on. So Buzz Aldrin was more than happy to reveal in some way, shape, or form that there was some fakery afoot.
No.
Yet,
I know what happened. Penny, let me explain to you because I just read. Penny,
8-year-old subsidized girl.
Penny.
And he said, "Hey." She asked why we never went back to the moon. He's like, "That's an adult question. The real reason is we never went."
That's not what he said.
Okay, so let me read what he said because this is from Reuters. You're familiar with Reuters? Reuters says, fact-checked, Buzz Aldrin interview about moon landing is not proof that it was faked. Social media's users are sharing a video of astronaut Buzz Aldrin being interviewed. But I am in the middle of a sentence. I'm sorry. Did the middle of a sentence, interrupt your beginning of yours? I'm sorry. Let me try again here. Let me try again here. All right.
Climax. I didn't interrupt your climax.
I'm actually curious about this.
So I'm trying here. Social media users are sharing a video of astronaut Buzz Aldrin being interviewed by American television host Conan O'Brien and claiming that Aldrin discussing parts of the moon landing broadcast for being animated is proof that it was all faked. He was referring to animations used by the broadcasters at the time in their coverage of the moon landing, intercut with real footage. The moon landing did take place and men did walk on the moon. What he says was,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm still speaking here.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
O'Brien says, I am still speaking here. I am still speaking here. I am still speaking here. Let me continue. I don't know how many times I need to say this. This is not complicated. You wait until I'm done, and then you have a chance to respond. This is basic internet
etiquette.
Yeah, thank you.
Continue with your dialogue.
Yeah, all right. So O'Brien says, let's talk about this because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up and went down and watched you guys land on the moon. Aldrin responds, here we go. No, you didn't because there was...
No, you didn't.
Let me finish.
Come on, let him finish.
He says... Because, by the way, they didn't have television cameras in space. He says, no, you didn't, because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anyone taking the picture. You watch animation, so you associated what you saw with you heard me talking about. You know how many feet were going to the left and right. And then I said, contact light, engine stopped, and a few other things. And then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. How about that? Not a bad line. So what he was trying to explain to Conan, and that you completely completely misunderstood, was at the time of the landing, he was at the time of the landing. Because I could do this all day. At the time of the landing, they didn't have any pictures or television outside of the Eagle. So he was relating to people what was going on that animators took and said, this is what's happening. Then they took actual pictures of the moon on the moon live itself. Time. There you go.
Do you understand how they did it live time? How would it be possible that they did it live? They animated it live as they knew what they were going to do.
Have you even looked?
How would that be possible?
You
don't understand how ridiculous that you guys. They did it live.
All you have is incredulity.
Right. We'll do it live.
Looking it up.
Okay, we'll do it. They did it live.
Okay.
Conan O'Brien watched it live.
Let's assume for a second here. Let's just assume that the moon landing was fake. You brought up initially, which got us to this shit show, the International Space Station. If the
International Space Station was a shit show, or what I brought up was
this initially started with the International Space Station. Now, here's the thing. None of us were there. Hell, I wasn't even alive back in the 1960s. So, in my opinion, we're shooting darts in the dark here. But the space station, you can go outside and see that thing for yourself.
Well, how does it reflect light when it's the sun's on the opposite side of the
Because it's made out of metal, bro.
And everything reflects light.
And also, hang on. Sunlight can actually stream overhead even though it's dark outside. The reason why
we're going back to refraction.
No, we're not going back to refraction. We're going back to geometry. If you are on a curved surface, there will be part of the curved surface where the line of light runs tangent to the surface of the Earth. The international
so I could shine a light at a basketball
be high enough to intersect that line of light. That's why you only see the space station either in the early evening or in the early morning.
So you don't think all their blooper footage is fake and gay?
What blooper footage are you referring to?
Just look up ISS blooper footage.
I'm not going to look up anything. You're the one that brought the table. You're going to have to be the one.
Their microphones will go through their hand. They'll throw up something and they'll go into some dude's neck. It's all CGI.
Do you not have basic
everything
cable?
Around them?
Do you not have
it's
basic
CGI.
cable? If you had basic cable at your house, you would see these digital errors and artifacts every freaking day. It happens all the time with digital media.
What do you want me to watch on basic cable?
Penny, Penny, do you think NASA has a big budget?
Yeah, they get like $62 million a day.
Okay, whatever. I don't know if it's that much, but whatever it is, right? Do you think that if they really wanted to fool people, do you think that if they actually really did want to fool people, they couldn't do a better fucking job?
I think people are so dumb, like the people in the chat, they believe anything.
All right, so real quick, going back to the...
I'm in the chat too, so that could be including me. I'm not really pointing out anyone.
Let me get something out here, please. Okay,
yes,
so about a year ago...
Mr. Red, do you think you're an asshole?
Do I think I'm an asshole? No,
that's a given, yeah.
That's
talk to people. Okay, let me retract that unnecessary asshole, because I appreciate you being kind somewhat to me. So I was expecting you to be a lot harsher, so I'm kind of surprised that you're not being like, "Hey, listen here, you fucktard." Like I'm appreciating.
He's having a good day.
You can thank the CNN. Anyway, so on September 3rd, 2020, SpaceX.
I thought you were going to say a different date.
Hang on. On September 3rd, 2020, SpaceX launched the Starlink 11. During the live stream of that particular launch, there was a glitch between first and second stage separation and then second stage ignition, where it looked like...
Is that what Jerry? Is that what your friend or your not friend, but your acquaintance pointed out how they faked it and they re-streamed it?
I'm not saying that they faked anything. What I'm saying is that there was a glitch in the live feed. However, even though flat earthers were more than happy to call that fake, they failed to acknowledge the fact that I was at Cape Canaveral on that day. I filmed the launch. Not only did I film the launch, I live streamed that launch from the night of 1000, and I filmed separation, second stage ignition. There was no issue.
Yeah, okay, I hope to look into that footage, but did it go up in an arc?
Yeah,
it has to.
Sorry, did it go up in an arc? Like it looked out, like it went up, then like a parabolic curve, and then it just went horizontal to the east.
Do you know? Let me ask you this: do you know the explanation for why they curve when going to space?
Coriolis? I don't know.
No. God.
Do you think
if you have? Yeah, okay, I'm going to try.
I'm guessing. I don't know. I was guessing. So I said no, and then
hang on. Everybody, hang on 1 sec. You got a lot of Penny. First of all, you got a lot of background noise. Can you kind of minimize that? And second of all, if you don't even understand what the question, if you
an outside place I can go to that,
if you don't,
can I go sit at that? I'm going to go sit at that stool over there. I'm at a restaurant.
Okay. They probably think you're insane. But if you don't even understand, the basic of rocketry and why it does what it does, how could you? I mean, have you ever read anything on it?
Rocketry?
Yeah, because rocketry. That's why why a rocket actually goes at an arc and why it has an insertion into the orbital. Have you ever played like Kerbal Space Program? Because that would probably teach you a lot. Actually,
I played with model rockets, so my model rockets go up to a Class B motor.
Falcon 9. Model rockets don't operate the same as the Falcon 9. You're comparing apples to oranges.
Oh my God! Holy crap, dude!
Okay,
wow.
okay.
No, I'm saying I'm not highly
educated.
We know intelligence.
So
I almost said identify, but I played with the biggest motors at Hobby Lobby. Okay, and they go straight up. They go straight up.
The fattest motors that you can get at Hobby Lobby do not hit orbital velocity. Now let's try this. If I have a ball and I throw it sideways, it's going to curve and hit the ground. If I have that same ball and I throw it a little harder, it's going to curve and hit the ground, but slightly further away. Now, hang on. Now, what if I throw that same ball so fucking hard that the curve of its arc matched the curve of the Earth? The ball would always be falling towards Earth.
You're supposed to be throwing it straight up. If I throw a ball straight up.
Hang on. The ball would always curve. The ball would always be curving towards Earth, but Earth would always be curving away just as fast. The ball would be in orbit. From the ball's perspective, it would be weightless as it goes around. Now, what if, in order to do that, we had to keep the ball going? Well, we have to get rid of the air. How do we get rid of the air? We go really fucking high up. So we'll go high enough to get over the atmosphere, and we'll start going sideways because we had to throw the ball sideways to get the fucker into orbit in the first place. Oh, look, now we know why rockets curve.
Yeah, real quick, I got a super chat. So Cretan Bull for 5 Canadian says, I hope this guy is a Poe. If not, he's combining willful ignorance and contrarian denialism with impossible stupidity. That's well said. I like that. I'm going to read that again just because that's really well written. He says, for 5... but I get to do what I want. I hope this guy is a Poe. If not, he's combining willful ignorance and contrarian denialism with impossible stupidity. I might steal that, by the way. That's really good.
That is good.
So Penny, why don't you do this? I'm serious, and I'm actually not joking here. Have you ever played Kerbal Space Program or thought about it?
Have I played Kerbal Space Program?
Correct. That is the question that has been asked.
What is that? An algorithm on a computer? I don't know what that is.
He hasn't.
No, it's. I would say it's a game. It's a game, I guess, but it's a game
It's a video game.
It's a game on a flat board like Monopoly.
No, it's a PC game.
It's an actual game that you play on the computer, and basically what it is that you have these. You run your own space program. You launch actual rockets into space. Have you ever played that game? Was the question. Obviously,
based on real physics.
Now,
real physics that
here's my question. Here's my question to you. If I purchased that game for you, I would purchase it for you. Would you promise?
So stupid. Why would I even play it?
To learn about the topic.
Hang on.
If I bought you a model rocket.
Let me get this out. Let me get this out.
All right. Yeah.
I will
Would I believe in the science of the computer algorithm?
I will purchase that game for you. And the only thing you have to do to pay me back is launch one rocket in orbit on that game on a live stream. That's all you have to do to pay me back. You agree to do that, and I will buy the game for you.
Factorio? Have you played Factorio? I'll buy you Factorio. It's on a flat plane, and you launch satellites into space on a flat plane.
Okay, so here's the thing, though, with the Kerbal Space Program. And when hang on. The Kerbal Space Program I like because, look, if you're dealing, look, it explains to you that how much weight, like you have a certain amount of weight that you have in going up to the outer space, right? And that has what's called momentum. Do you know what momentum is? Ever heard of that? Momentum? I'm not going to explain it, but do you know what it is? Okay, no. All right, so you have a concept in physics called momentum, and so any kind of force to change the.
I don't know many big words,
Penny,
but I know most.
No disrespect, but you interrupt me again. We're done because I'm sick and tired of having to talk over you. Well, you're talking over me. Don't do that. I can tell you right now, it'll never end well for you. and we're getting toward the end of the show, so I don't have to put up your bullshit. So hang on, let me finish this. On the Kerbal Space Program, and by the way, to the audience as well, it's well worth getting if you want to understand a little bit about basic and orbital mechanics, because you have a lot of weight ratios that you have to attend to with the fuel, and you must have a delta V. This means that if you're traveling at a certain velocity, you want to change that arc of the curve in order to like insert yourself into an orbital of like Jupiter. You need a lot of fucking fuel to do it, a lot of energy, and you think it's easy? It is not, especially going to some of the other planets out there. And what I would recommend to understand how complicated this shit really is, download the toolbox for it. There's an add-on that you have for it, and then factor in how much fuel and how much mass and how much you have necessary in order to have a second stage or third stage get you to you want to go, and you'll have an understanding of why you have to insert something in a arc like that. There's no other way to do it. Try landing it from your understanding of physics. It will not work, period. There you go. Now you can talk.
It's fake and gay. I don't know how you don't see it.
All right. Well, that's
we know the video game is a video game, but that's not the point. The point is that the video game will still teach
Thank you for understanding what I'm getting at.
when going to space. The whole point is just a curve to get into space, and why we curve to get into space. And Kerbal does a great job of that. So the question again: are you willing to play the game if I gave it to you for free?
Yeah, okay. You want to play Factorio and launch a satellite into space? It's on a flat plane.
I'll tell you what. Let's do an even trade. I'll play your game if you play mine.
You ain't got Steam, dude. You hate Steam.
I will get Steam.
Oh
Shut
my God,
up, Steve.
You have no. You swore yours. No, I will not let you. I told you years ago you're not good enough for Steam.
I think it's on PlayStation now.
Steve,
fine,
I will get Steam if it educates this guy. I am willing to make the fucking sacrifice.
You can launch a satellite on Factorio on a flat plane. So what you're saying to me is not the same thing. It's a video game.
Then I will know how it's done on a flat plane, and you will know how it's done on a curved Earth. Seems like a pretty good trade.
It doesn't say. There's not much science. Well, there's a lot of science involved in it. It's actually a fun game. It's called Factorio. Yeah. It's actually a pretty fun.
I've seen
Perfect.
it.
Then how about this? Not only will we trade games on this, but we will play both of them at the exact same time on my channel.
I'll give you a shout out. Hey, I appreciate. I've seen you talk to people. And you're like really rude in the past. I don't know if you changed or I didn't offend you too much.
He's getting old. He's got to mellow out.
You can blame the Xanax.
lots of Xanax.
Lots and lots of Xanax.
Lots of
Xanax.
Hey, may I ask you guys your biggest proof that we're on a globe without pseudoscience? Without pseudoscience?
Yeah, my entire YouTube channel.
Yeah, I would say satellites. I've actually seen satellites.
Biggest proof.
I've seen satellites.
Like my biggest proof that we're on a flat plane is we see too far. And then my other question was kind of a side topic, but there's no gravity in well, there's gravity in space.
So all right, so I'll give you this. All right, I'm going to assume that you'll just get back to me about the video game offer. But as far as my biggest proof that we are on a globe, the fact that equatorial telescope mounts work.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is my biggest proof because it is.
I don't even know what is.
An equatorial telescope mount is where the rotational axis of the telescope is aligned with the north celestial pole or the south.
It's a gyroscope?
No.
It's a gyroscope?
No,
it's not a gyroscope. It's a telescope mount. Okay, so you have a telescope mount. It's like a giant tripod you put this telescope on. You align the telescope mount, like let's say you're in the northern hemisphere. You align it with the north celestial pole. You will be able to keep objects in frame while rotating only one axis. That fact alone proves that we are on a globe.
Is that on your YouTube channel?
Yes, it is on my YouTube channel. You can see it. The name of the video.
Thank you.
The name of the video is called "The EQ Mount and the Flat Earth." Now, here, this is just a simple fact. You don't have to understand the geometry of it, but I'll explain the problem. If you put an EQ mount on a flat Earth, the EQ mount has to rotate 2 axes of rotation to follow objects in the sky. On a round Earth, it only has to rotate 1. In reality, we only have to rotate 1. Therefore, the Earth is round and not flat.
Yeah, and also, I mean,
I guess I don't understand what axes mean. Well, I guess I gotta.
You have a long ways to go, right?
It just doesn't make sense.
Of course, it doesn't to you. But do you know what?
There is actually an example of this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to assume you still have a link to this stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the link to this video. I'm going to post it in the live chat at this part of the chat of the Hangout. So you can go back, look at
live chat. Okay.
Yeah, you can go back, look at the live chat, and you will see the link to the video that explains it in vivid detail.
Can I ask one really quick last question?
Sure. Then I got super chats to get to.
I appreciate the super chats and you. Hey, okay. How can you measure the sun and the moon looking up in the sky, and aren't they improper fractions? Couldn't the sun be 10 times farther away and 10 times bigger, and the moon
do you know what? Wait, hang on. No, do you know what? Wait, tell me what improper fraction is.
Steve. I don't want to get into terminology here. I know what
it can be divisible. It can be divisible. Okay, an improper fraction is like 4/8, or
you mean 8 over 8? You mean 8 over 4?
No, like 4.
No, improper, dude. Improper means that the numerator is higher than the denominator. It means the number on top is bigger than the number on the bottom. We learned this in 3rd grade. Okay,
Steve. I don't care about the terminology being used.
Kill me.
It could be reducible.
Just kill me.
I'm just saying the math that they're giving. Okay, hey, Mr. Red. Hey, you got very aggressive when I brought this up. So it would. Did you hang up?
I got aggressive at.
All I'm saying is these. If they're both identical and perfectly the same, they're fractions that can be divisible or additioned. They're divisible fractions.
Okay.
They're divisible fractions.
Literally, what you just said is word salad. But secondly, we do not.
I didn't hear you. Broke up. What did I say? Was what?
Let me repeat. We do not measure the distance to the sun by angular size alone.
Well, do you know what the speed of light is?
Yes. Speed of light is roughly
it's an international agreement. It's an international agreement, just like the sun is compared to the moon, compared to the earth. It's an international agreement, pseudoscience. It's not provable.
We don't.
So you're asking about you're saying you believe in fucking pseudoscience. I'm getting the red rhetoric aggression. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You're asking how we know how. You're asking how far away the sun is and how we know it. We do not measure distance to the sun by angular size alone. It doesn't work like that at all.
All right. And by the way, the speed of light is actually the speed of
what was that? Can you repeat that?
All right. I'm going to mute you.
Okay. Let me try this again.
I'm going to mute him so he can talk. Go ahead, Reds.
Do not. I repeat. We do not measure the distance to the sun by angular size alone. It doesn't work like that. What he's trying to say is that the moon could be further away and bigger, and it will look the same size to us in the sky. Or it could be closer to us and smaller, and it can look the same size in the sky. So therefore, how do you know that the sun is 93 million miles away? The answer, we don't measure the distance to the sun by angular size alone. It doesn't work like that. In fact, the angular size of the sun doesn't even come into account when measuring the distance to the sun.
Yeah, and let me point out for those who are interested, the speed of light actually was redefined not too long ago. Before any Flerfer kind of points it out,
Isn't it like 300 million meters a second or something?
It's literally defined as 299,792,000 something meters per second. That's what the definition is. So it's no longer measured by wavelength or frequency. It has to do exactly with how fast it's going in meters per second. And that so literally has been defined to be that number. So the C constant is 299,792,408 meters per second. So
it's I always go with an easy answer like 180,000 miles per second or 300,000 or 300 million meters per second.
I remember it was 106,282 I think 0.32 or something miles per second. But either it doesn't matter whether you do meters, but it
meters, miles, kilometers, whatever.
It's defined in meters, but that is by definition that's what the speed of light is. But by the way, we have a very, very, very accurate measurement of it. And by the way, Penny, you may not be able to do this because it's not your level, but if you ever get into matrix theory and you get into a little bit more advanced maths and using what's called natural units, you can actually derive the speed of light from other fundamental natural units, such as like Planck's constant, gravitational force, and some other things that are really interesting using matrix equations. But I don't think you're up to that level yet. But I got some super chats in, and yes, I had to mute him because I'm sorry, he was just interrupting too much. By the way, you can unmute in a second here. Dave Kirscher for $5 says, I'll buy you a copy of the Cordial Conversation game. To win, all you need to do is listen without interrupting. An impossible challenge. Yeah, that's expert mode, Dave. I don't think he's up for that. Expert mode. Then we got Tim Pryor for $10. No field of science agrees with flat earthers. And if they think science agrees with them, that is literally pseudoscience. Absolutely. There's not a single solitary branch of science out there that in any way agrees with flat earth. None. Zero. Zip. Tim Pryor for another $10. He has a question for Reds, or a statement for Reds. Reds, what's that video game? Because I literally want to get it. I think the Fight the Flat Earth showed it once, and I forgot what it was. He's talking about Kerbal Space Program?
Yeah, Kerbal. Kerbal Space Program. I played it a few times, and I completely lost it because my computer took a shit, and I just haven't gotten it back yet. But I will offer this guy the game. I'll buy it for him. I don't give a fuck, because in order to launch something into orbit, he will be forced to curve the rocket, and he'll understand why it needs to curve in the first place. It illustrates the point. Obviously, explaining this shit is doing him no favors.
You know what's funny?
Half the time he doesn't understand what the fuck I'm saying. So if he's actually doing it, then he will conceptually get it.
I think it was on the Great Debate Community channel, Reds. I actually had a PhD in astrophysics come on, and we literally played the game together in order to land on the moon successfully. Not an easy feat. It took a few iterations. We definitely crashed and burned and killed a lot of Kerbals, but they're expendable. Took I don't know, a couple hours, but with me and a PhD in astrophysics, we made it work. And yeah, you did know a little bit about the physics to at least conceptualize what's going on. It is not a game you just pick up and play like Pong or something. But it is fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, a quick thing. Quick thing though, Steve.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I sent to you is access to a doc. What I would like for you to do for me before the end of this stream is open up that doc and show it to the peeps.
Where'd you send it at?
Ask Steve anything.
I'm looking at my mail and I'm not seeing it, but let me refresh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got some stuff. Okay. And I just had a new device turned on my location history. So,
God damn, that's
loud. Yeah, dude that joined, you got some loud noise. I got something just turned on my new location history. I'll look at that in a second. Reds Rhetoric. I shared a document, Solfax, that one.
Yes. So if you can open that up and show it on screen, and I'll just explain it real quick.
Yeah, well, I'm doing that. Got a scummer for £2 says speed of light a lot faster than a first brain. Let me see if I can do this. By the way, did he leave? He left. By the way, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he left.
I don't think he figured out how to unmute.
And that's perfectly fine with me because I was kind of done talking to him, at least for tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I've got to figure out how to pull up this document here. So give me 1 second. Decevon, did you want to add something without all that background noise? Because man, that was rough.
Yeah. Just have a quick question. I'm not really on the flat Earth side, so really what I want to ask, because y'all have a little bit more experience dealing with some of these guys. My question is really just more of something just kind of that I'm noticing. Do you guys see just kind of a downfall or just a lack of good education in our, especially in the United States, with some of these guys just not knowing the basics and not being able to get their minds wrapped around, let's say, this like a three-dimensional aspect of to just to see these things in their mind's eye.
Yes, I think, okay, look, I mean, I think our educational system in the United States is crap. I think that they don't teach a lot of the basics that they should be teaching. I don't think they teach the concepts very well. But do I think that's the reason why people are flat earthers? No, I think people are flat earthers because most of them are Poes. I think that guy, well, probably was a Poe, but the ones that actually do believe it, I just think that they want to feel like they're special. I think they want to feel like they believe something that the average person doesn't, because they can't accept the fact that there are people that actually go to school to learn these things and study it and become very proficient at it, and they're not capable of doing that. And I think that they just want to feel like they're a little more special than the actual experts of these topics. That's just personally my opinion, but I do have that pulled up for you, by the way, on the outside screen, Reds, if you want to go over it. But we want to answer Deso's question first.
Yeah. Well, just real quick, just to add to that too, there is a bit of a correlation now that I see in my own personal life. There's a more push towards a religious, and I don't know, maybe I'm correlating all these things just in my with the people around me, but I do see there is a lack of so I'm 43. When I was in school young, our teachers, they tried. They were, they taught us everything, and if they didn't see, or maybe I just had a good, I don't see that that willingness of the young kids, so to speak. I would say people 25 and under, maybe a little older than that, but and it's almost spreading like a virus, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's curious to me, and I just kind of wanted to see what you guys thought about that. Open up just another portion of the topic.
Yeah, no, cool. Now, Reg, you want to weigh in on that real quick before you do your document that I have on the screen for everybody to see?
Yeah, point blank, we pay teachers shit, and we don't give them. We don't give them the resources that they need to give children the educations that they definitely want to give them. They became teachers for that reason, and they definitely didn't do it to become rich, because once again, we pay them like shit. We don't respect them, and that's bullshit in my opinion. Giving teachers subpar pay, subpar resources, and essentially they're not just educators, they are forced to be babysitters and, in some aspects, jailers. It sucks. It's a shitty position to be in. So in order for that to be fixed, there needs to be a fundamental shift on how we see teachers. We need to see them for the very valuable individuals that they are, that they do render a valuable service, and that what we invest in today is going to pay off big time tomorrow. But unfortunately, the people that make the budgets only see the here and now. And well, if Jimmy gets an A on his test, how is that going to affect me tomorrow? Well, it isn't, because Jimmy is not set to graduate college for another 15 fucking years, so we're not going to pay much attention to it. We need to get away from that level of thinking.
I stand by all of that. And by the way, it should be noted that most of the administrators making these types of decisions do not have degrees in teachings. They have things more along the lines of business, but they don't know what it's like to actually teach. That's the problem.
Point blank, we need to stop treating teachers like shit. We need to give them the resources they need. We need to give them the pay that they deserve. And we need to essentially just stop getting in their fucking way.
Yeah, let them teach.
Getting in their way.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we've kind of hobbled what teachers can actually teach about. Matter of fact, I mean, if you're in a school system or district where they're actually even considering somehow teaching controversy about evolution and creationism, you're in the wrong school system. You need to get those people out. You need to vote them out at the grassroots level. They should not be in any position of authority or office or anything that have to do with children. If they're trying to put their religious positions ahead of actual, well-established science, that should never have happened.
I totally agree, and
because you're smart, because you're a smart man, I can tell.
Enlighten on that little position. I am in a small town, Texas, and we all know what the smart thing is to do, but we let these other things in our lives kind of dictate these things, and it's almost it's a train that one person, because it's all, people are jumping on the train at random times. And if the train's moving, it's very hard to stop the whole train and to get this weird idea of science, math, and, the STEM side of education to be just a really fundamental
STEM
part
should be basic. Yeah, STEM should not be even.
so-
STEM shouldn't be something like that some schools do. STEM should be like integrally incorporated in all aspects of education.
Most definitely.
It shouldn't be some kind of elective bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter went to a STEM school, and I'm like, isn't that like? I was like, isn't that just like a normal thing? I mean, why does it need to be separate? Like a special school for that?
Exactly.
But yeah,
anyway, guys, keep it up. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna
Thank
get back
you.
to the go watch y'all on YouTube. But hey, great job, and thanks
Thank
for
you,
asking
kind
my
sir.
questions.
And I'll leave you to two things why what he's just said is important: SCOTUS and Trump. Oh, there you go. I mean,
There you go.
if you,
Hey,
you
y'all
don't
have
think
a
those are
great night.
problems, then yeah. All right, thank you, buddy. All right, Reds, I got this pulled up for the outside viewers right now for you on your chart here, your document. So, what you got for us?
Okay, so let's see. It's up on my screen as well.
Soul facts.
Yes,
sounds
soul.
sounds very, very, very like cool. Soul facts.
Yeah, and you sure it's out?
Yeah, I can read it.
Because,
I can read it on the outside. Can you guys read on the outside? I can say right here, first telescope location.
I don't see. Oh, there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
It's
it
on the. It's on the outside chat. It's on. The
I
outside.
see. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right, perfect. So now I'm seeing it on stream itself.
Yeah, and I
okay,
can
so
scroll
soul
down.
facts. This was so people were asking, and I'm going to kind of knock out two birds with one stone here. Like the creative process on some videos. This is a video that actually never got made. I still want to make this video, but I just never got around to it, and you're going to see why. This is the entire breakdown of measuring the distance to the sun. Just the raw numbers, just the math and the raw numbers by themselves, with none of the explanations, with none of the funny jokes and the fuck you, eat shit, that kind of thing added into the script. This is just the raw numbers. And if you go all the way down to the very bottom, it gives you the final answer to this question of how far away is the sun. And we got an answer of 150 million kilometers. And by the way, this is with observations that both myself and Astronomy Live did. Astronomy Live has access to the iTelescope network, and he was able to remote control a telescope in New Mexico at the same time that we had our own telescope in Florida. We looked at the opposition of Mars. We looked at the parallax of Mars. So part of measuring the distance to the sun was measuring the distance and the size of Mars. And taking all of this into account, we were able to finally get an answer, basically building the solar system and figuring out the distance between Earth and the sun. I would have to put all of this into a video in a script, make that shit entertaining somehow, and add fuck you, eat shit, and suck a dick, somewhere in the midst of the script, because of course I have to. It has to be a Reds Rhetoric video after all. And I just couldn't do it. My creative juices just weren't flowing, and I just couldn't get it done. But the work was still completed. The work was still done. So I literally have it right there in front of you, the entire breakdown of the math that goes into measuring the distance between Earth and the sun. Now, I'm not going to explain the math. This is just to show that it's been done, but it's also to show that it is possible.
Yeah,
you can do this.
Just so people
so
people know, because we unfortunately don't teach much of the metric system in America, but the metric system, 150 million kilometers would be approximately 93 million miles, which is most of what we learned in school. Was the sun is anywhere between high end of 92 million to the mid lower end of 93 million, depending on the time of year, but approximately 93 million miles is what we learned in school growing up. That's 150 million kilometers. So I mean, you got within range, right? I mean, you got something that was like legit right in that sweet spot of what we would expect of around 93 million miles for the Americans.
We got the right answers. So like just going down the labels here, like you have the location of the first telescope, you have the location of the second telescope, you have the straight line distance between the two, ignoring the curve of the Earth, taking the curve of the Earth into account in degrees, the parallax of Mars, the angular size of Mars, the radius of Earth is taken into account. all of these factors are taken into account. And after you do all the math and, the investigations and, you actually do the fucking work, you come out to an answer, assuming you did everything correctly, of 150 million kilometers. Now, again, this was to be in a video, but the video never got made because I had to make this shit entertaining somehow.
Well, it still worked. The math still works. The sun's still 93 million miles away, 150 million kilometers, give or take. It hasn't changed. Yeah, anybody can do this if they know math. It's not that complicated.
Now the math still works. Now, where we go from here is this. I'm going to kind of give a little sneak peek to something. Myself and Astronomy Live were planning on redoing this observation. We were going to redo the observation, and we were actually going to complete the video, but we weren't going to use the iTelescope network. I was actually going to meet up with that piece of shit motherfucker called Steve McRae in Cali.
Asshole. Fuck that dude.
Yeah, and I was actually going to bring a telescope with me, and Astronomy Live and myself would be looking at Mars at the same time and getting a parallax measurement, which is one of the steps needed to measure the distance to the sun. So it was on our to-do list. But this is just to demonstrate that measuring the distance of the sun is possible. But notice what is missing from this document. What is missing is the angular size of the sun. It doesn't factor at all. So, very simply, for the flat earthers, if your objection to measuring the distance to the sun is the visible size of the sun, you've already fucked up. You're already going down a path that no one has gone down. You're already building a straw man and beating the shit out of it.
Yeah, I think they misunderstand.
You bring up the angular size of the sun when also talking about the distance to the sun, you've already fucked up. Point blank.
All right. So anyway, we're going to go wrap this up soon. We got one last person who wants to chime in here. James. Hi, James.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what up, man? What you got
I just want to say something to Reds real quick, if I can.
Yeah.
Dude, I am elated to hear your voice on the interwebs again, dude. Thank you for coming back.
Notice he didn't say your face.
Yeah. We're not going to go. We're not going to go too far there. So James, given the fact that my voice sounds like a toucan with a kazoo stuck in its throat, I am touched and honored, and thank you for having such poor standards.
Right?
Well, you know what I like about the way you do your. The one thing I like the way you do your presentations is, you break it down Barney style, and these idiots still don't get it. It's like,
is that really surprising,
a 3-year-old
James?
could understand. A 3-year-old could understand what you're saying.
James, but think about this, James. I mean, that guy Penny who just came on, whether he's a Poe or not, I don't know. But again, if you don't even have an understanding of basic physics, if you don't even know what momentum is or what a force is, what the hell are you doing talking about rocket science? I mean, come on. It's just like they have to realize that they appear to be astronomically ignorant to anybody that even has a basic understanding. I mean, that's all I have. I mean, I took physics. I have a basic understanding, but they don't even have that. You think they're going to be able to do like differential equations or calculus or parametric equations or worse, elliptical equations? Good luck with that. They have no idea about any of that shit, but they think they know more than scientists, right?
It all goes back to a schooling system. Back in my day, I'm 51 years old. We was taught that stuff in grade school. At least the entry stuff. And it was interesting. Nowadays, they're more worried about trying to figure out what a woman is and letting drag shows go on in schools and stuff. The globalists. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but the easy way to say it, the globalists are intentionally dumbing down the younger generations so they're easier to control. That's all it comes down to.
I don't know if they're intentionally dumbing people down. I just think that the curriculum's set up to not really educate kids in these particular topics properly.
In my opinion, it's all about value, and we do not value teachers, and that is a problem.
I think people don't value knowledge anymore.
Yeah,
that's true too.
And as a side effect, they don't value teachers because they don't value knowledge. Absolutely. What we need is people to get the fuck out of teachers' way. We need to give them the resources that they need. We need to pay them better. For fuck's sake, pay them better. We need to basically stop treating them as second-class citizens. And It just pisses me off to see like teachers that are they want to do good work, like you see them giving their heartfelt speeches about how much they're getting fucked by the system when all they want to do is educate their students, and it's sad. It's fucking deplorable that we let that shit happen.
I think that's worthy enough for another conversation. I think one of these days.
Actually, good. Yeah. Future on the Non-Sequitur Show. Teachers getting fucked and how we can stop it.
And not. We're not talking about that 40-year-old teacher that was sleeping with some 14-year-old or something.
No, that's a future South Park episode.
Yeah, that was different. Yeah.
So I would absolutely love to bring a teacher friend of mine on for that episode.
Do it. Well, you guys know how to get in touch with us. My email is public. Either reach me at steveaskanything@gmail.com, or if you want the show's email, it's actually in the about, so reach out to us. And if you need to get a hold of Reds, I can make that happen as well. But anyways,
on Twitter at some point.
Oh yeah. Everybody could find me on Twitter. That's one of the easiest way to reach me is probably on Twitter because I tweet a lot.
Yeah. So before we conclude, I will say one last thing, just to kind of answer people that have been asking me on Twitter. They've also been asking me in the comment section because they see debunking material coming from my good friend Astronomy Live, and they see more observations coming from me. Like just recently, I recorded the International Space Station with the P1000, the flat earther camera of choice, to show that it was possible. And I also did another rocket launch video that I recently posted, did another transit video that I posted, a solar transit, and that's all well and good, but people want Reds Rhetoric flat earth debunking content, and I just haven't been able to get around to it because time flies when you work every fucking day. So, but
hey,
I'm going to tell you this. Yes, I have a video in the works right now, flat earth debunking content, good old-fashioned Reds Rhetoric debunking, and it will be posted within a week's time.
Awesome. I'll make the popcorn.
Yeah, it will be posted within a week's time, and I'm putting the finishing touches on it right now. I just have to find some music that doesn't have copyright issues, which seems to be a bit of a challenge. But I shall persevere, and I shall find music that is not copyrighted, and I will use that music, and then I'll post the damn thing. But it is getting done. It is getting done. There will be more content like that in the future after that one's posted as well.
Awesome. Can't wait. I'll see y'all guys later. Peace out.
Yep. And for the rest of you, thank you very much for watching the Non-Sequitur Show. I do want to ask that you subscribe and like and comment and share and all that nice shit. And of course, Steve, thank you so much for hosting, you piece of shit. And thanks for Hans being here and putting up with my bullshit, and most especially Steve's bullshit, most especially the flat earthers bullshit.
I appreciate both of you letting me hang out and just bullshit with
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It's all part of the package deal. Bullshit comes with it. So with that, Steve, I think I pretty much did the outro.
You did.
So you can go ahead and say something and make the outro objectively worse, or you can just end it right here and end on a high note.
No, just wave goodbye.
Okay, wave. You can't see me, but I'm waving.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.